Now all of you can
Yes, sir.
see.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So see this particular program, write a program using function to calculate factorial of a number. So we have to calculate factorial of a number but using function. Okay, so let's go to Turbo. Okay. So I'm opening a new file. Okay. So here we have to write a program using function to calculate factorial of a number. So first let me write hash include stdio.h hash include conio.h void main. Okay. So what I'll be doing, I'll be writing a function, okay, which that function will going to return. That means वो फंक्शन को हम लोग क्या करेंगे, एक नंबर देंगे, वो फंक्शन फैक्टोरियल कैलकुलेट करेगा और फैक्टोरियल कैलकुलेट करने के बाद में अपने को रिजल्ट दे देगा. जैसे हम लोगों ने सम फंक्शन लिखा था, राइट, तो नंबर लेके ऐड करके अपने को सम दे रहा था. तो इन द सिमिलर वे I'll say that that function will return me an integer number. The name of the function will be factorial, and this function will going to take one number of the type integer. Okay, of the type integer. So this will become my function prototype. This will become my function prototype. Clear? So int factorial, int, right? The function's signature is what? The return type is integer, name of the function is factorial. It's taking one type of parameter, that is a integer. I'll go here inside this, I'll declare one int n, and I'll declare, let's say, one result variable. Then I'll say CLR, SCR. Then I'll ask the user printf, enter a number. So user will going to enter a number. We will scanf %d ampersand n. Okay, %d ampersand n. Now I'll make a call to that particular function. So basically this function will going to return an integer value. So I must have what? One variable left to the left hand side to store the value. So I'm saying result equal to factorial. Okay, factorial. To make a call to this particular factorial function, it's taking one parameter, right? So we have to pass one number. So we're going to pass this n number to this particular function n. So this function will take this n parameter, okay, as an argument, and then it will calculate the factorial of that n. For example, हम लोग ने 5 भेजा था, राइट, जो ये फंक्शन 5 लेगा, उसका फैक्टोरियल कैलकुलेट करेगा और 120 रिटर्न करेगा, वो रिजल्ट में आके स्टोर हो जाएगा. Then after that we will display. So we will say printf, I'm saying, let me write factorial equal to %d, factorial equal to %d result. Yeah, and then after this I'm writing get ch. So since I'm writing the function after the main, I have written what here, function prototype. Now we will go here, and we will define that function. So I'm writing, कैसा function दिख रहा है, देखो यहाँ पे फंक्शन कैसा दिख रहा है, इंटीजर वैल्यू रिटर्न कर रहा है, नेम क्या है फंक्शन का, फैक्टोरियल, और एक पैरामीटर ले रहा है इंटीजर टाइप का. So we'll go here, int factorial, name of the function factorial, and taking one parameter int n, bracket open, bracket close. Now in this I'm declaring one variable int fact equal to 1 or एक I variable, okay, for looping. Then I'll say for I equal to 1, I is less than equal to n, I plus plus. Inside this what I am doing, fact equal to, तुम लोग ने बहुत बार ऑलरेडी लिखा है, तुम लोग के लॉजिक पता होगा, फिर मैं बता देगा. fact equal to, yeah, ये ऑलरेडी तुम लोग ने बहुत बार लिखा है. So fact equal to fact into I. Now after the calculation of this fact, okay, in the fact we'll be having the factorial value. ये रिटर्न टाइप क्या इंटीजर है, तो एंड वाला स्टेटमेंट अपना क्या होना चाहिए, रिटर्न दिस फैक्ट, जिसके अंदर रिजल्ट है वो वैल्यू को रिटर्न कर दे। तो आई एम सेइंग रिटर्न
सर
क्या,
सर वो फैक्ट की स्पेलिंग, फैक्ट इज इक्वल टू फैक्ट इनटू आई।
हाँ राइट राइट, थैंक्स अ लॉट, आई चेंज दिस। ओके, तो बेसिकली तुम लोगों को समझा, ये लॉजिक तुम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी लिखा है बहुत बार। ओके, मैं सिर्फ क्या करने का ट्राई कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, फॉर एग्जांपल किसी ने अगर 5 डाला तो मैं उसको ऐसा लिख रहा हूँ 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5। ओके, सो जस्ट आई एम ट्राइंग टू डू इन दिस वे। सो बेसिकली मैंने क्या किया, फैक्ट को 1 से डिक्लेयर कर लिया, तो फैक्ट इक्वल टू फैक्ट इंटू वाई, फर्स्ट टाइम आई का वैल्यू 1 होगा, तो फैक्ट इंटू वाई 1 इंटू 1 1 स्टोर हो जाएगा फैक्ट में, तो ऑलरेडी 1 टर्म आ गया उसके अंदर। फिर आई का वैल्यू 2 होगा बिकॉज आई विल बी इंक्रीमेंटेड बाई 1, सो नेक्स्ट टाइम 1 इंटू आई का वैल्यू 2 है तो 1 इंटू 2 मतलब फर्स्ट 2 टर्म का मल्टीप्लीकेशन फैक्ट के अंदर आ गया। फिर आई 3 होगा, 4 होगा, 5 होगा, राइट, और उसके अंदर एंड में सब मल्टीप्लीकेशन आ जाएगा 1 2 3 एंड 4 का 5 का मल्टीप्लीकेशन, so this will be 120 and finally I will become 6, so it will not be greater less than equal to 5, तो ये ब्रेक हो जाएगा लूप, और फैक्ट के अंदर अपना फैक्टोरियल वैल्यूज है दैट वी विल गोइंग टू रिटर्न टू our function, our this function call right here over here, so वो वैल्यू आके ये रिजल्ट के अंदर स्टोर हो जाएगा and then after that we will try to display it on the screen. Mohammed, he is from our class, right? He's from our class. Mohammed Ansari is from our class, let me know. He's not there in our class. Anybody knows?
He is there, sir.
Yeah, he's there. Kunal.
Yes.
Okay, okay, I'll admit then. So let me run this particular program. So before running this, I'll save this. Say as facto.c. So I'll run this. So it's telling me enter a number, I'll enter 5. So it's returning me factorial equal to 120. This factorial equal to 120 from where I've written inside main function. Okay. See this factorial equal to 120, I've written over here factorial equal to %d. So here I am displaying this particular result. So basically in this what I'm following, that the other function will going to return me a value, and then that value I'll going to print from the main function. Clear? So this was a very simple program. You can see one more time. Okay, below I have just defined that particular function, and above here I made the function call from this particular line. Okay, and then if I'm writing after the main, so I'll have to write the function prototype. Okay, so now let's go to the next program. Write a program using function to reverse the number. Okay, that means किसी ने 1 4 3 डाला तो उसका आंसर 3 4 1 आना चाहिए. Okay, that function should do. So we will write a reverse function, और वो reverse function का जवाब क्या है, to reverse the number. Okay, so let's go to the turbo. So मैं क्या करूँगा, मैं यहाँ पे चेंजेस कर रहा हूँ, ये फैक्टोरियल की जगह पे मैं अभी रिवर्स फंक्शन लिखूंगा. सो आई एम राइटिंग ये रिवर्स. ओके, और वो फंक्शन को भी मैंने रिटर्न टाइप इंट रखा है बिकॉज वो फंक्शन रिटर्न करने के बाद, आई मीन रिवर्स करने के बाद में भी वो इंटीजर वैल्यू ही देगा. फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने 143 पास किया, दैट इज इंटीजर नंबर, एंड आफ्टर रिवर्सिंग इट इट विल गिव मी 341, राइट, दैट इज आल्सो अ इंटीजर नंबर. अच्छा, ये फैक्ट वाले प्रोग्राम में एक चीज ध्यान में रखना, तुम लोग अगर चाहिए तो ये फैक्ट का जो वैल्यू है यू कैन हैव अ लॉन्ग वैल्यू, राइट. तुम लोग देखा होगा 9 फैक्टोरियल के बाद में कैलकुलेट नहीं होगा, बिकॉज वो 32767 का रेंज ब्रेक कर देगा. दैट इज नॉर्मल इंटीजर रेंज, राइट. तो यहाँ पे तुम लोग उसको लॉन्ग फैक्ट भी कर सकते हो और देन यू कैन कैलकुलेट, so it can give you a bigger answer. Clear? So if you'll declare a long int, then you will have to write here %ld for long int. Okay, so now I am writing a reverse function, so it will take one integer value and then it will reverse it, it will send me a integer answer. So ये सब same होगा. Here I am telling enter the number, we'll enter the number, then we'll make this particular call here. So I'll say what, reverse, okay, and then I'll here say reverse number equal to %d and then result. So let's define that function over here. So this one I'll say reverse. Okay, so it will take basically one number, it will try to reverse it. So I'll remove this. Now to reverse it, so you know we will have to what, we will have to do, for example 143 is there, so I'll have to basically extract this 3, then 4 and then 1, right, and then I will have to write in the format of what, 341. So basically I'll do the mod and then I'll separate the number, then I'll reduce the number, that particular logic I'll try to apply. So here I'll declare int remainder, okay, int remainder. Then what I'll do, while n is greater than 0, okay, while n is greater than 0 means what, देखो यहाँ पे रिवर्स n मैंने पास किया है एक्चुअल पैरामीटर. सो फॉर एग्जांपल किसी ने 143 यहाँ पे 143 n के अंदर है, राइट, तो ये n वेरिएबल का डुप्लीकेट कॉपीज बनाएगा और वो ए n वेरिएबल को पास करेगा, राइट, ये फॉर्मल पैरामीटर्स को. So we are taking that n value and I'm doing what, I'm applying a while loop. I'm saying that till that 143 is greater than 0, do certain thing. So first thing what I am doing, I'll take out the remainder. So I'll say what, remainder equal to n mod 10, okay, n mod 10. I'll require one more variable to make a reverse number, so I'll simply saying rev, okay, rev, and let me declare it as a 0, okay, rev equal to 0. Then remainder aa gaya. So here if I am taking n as what, 143, n as 143, right, so here first time what I'll get the remainder as 3, okay. If you divide that 143, you will take the mod by 10, you will get 3. Now what I'll do, I'll reduce the number, so I'm saying n equal to n by 10. So if you try to divide by 10, so you will get the quotient what, only the first two numbers, you will get 40. Now I'll have to make the number, okay, I'll have to make that particular number. So I'll say that reverse equal to, okay, reverse equal to reverse into 10 plus remainder, okay. So what I am saying, reverse equal to reverse into 10 plus remainder. तो ये लाइन मुझे क्या देगा, अभी देखो रिवर्स क्या है, रिवर्स हम लोग ने 0 डिक्लेयर किया है, तो 0 इंटू 10 प्लस रिमाइंडर क्या है, रिमाइंडर यहाँ पे 3 है, राइट. सो दिस विल कैलकुलेट एंड इट विल गिव मी 3, राइट. सो 3 आ जाएगा ये रिवर्स के अंदर, ओके. देन वो फिर क्या चेक करेगा, ये वाला लाइन एंड हो गया, इसके बाद में वो चेक करेगा वेदर n इज स्टिल ग्रेटर देन 0. यस, n इज ग्रेटर देन 0 बिकॉज n का वैल्यू क्या है अभी 14 है, ओके. तो वो चेक करेगा n का वैल्यू 14 है, वापस वो यहाँ पे आएगा, रिमाइंडर कैलकुलेट करेगा. नाउ दिस टाइम रिमाइंडर विल बी व्हाट, 14 mod 10, so it will give you 4. 14 mod 10 will be 4. Then here it will come, it will do what, 14 divided by 10, so it will give you 1, okay. This time it will give you 1. and then the what will be the calculation. Now this time calculation will be reverse into 10. So reverse के अंदर already last time का 3 value है, ये 3 value reverse के अंदर है, so it will do what 3 into 10 plus remainder अभी क्या है अपना 4 आया, right? So it will calculate this, it will give us what 34. Now again it will check what is the n ka value. N ka value is 1. 1 is still greater than 0. So this loop will move one more time. Okay, it will go here. It will try to calculate the remainder. Now this time remainder will be what? N mod 10. So 1 mod 10. I told you several times that whenever numerator value is less than the denominator value, the remainder will be the same numerator value. So 1 mod 10 will be 1. Then if I'm dividing 1 by 10, so it will go 0 times because numerator is less than the denominator. So now this n will become 0. But what will be the calculation? So this time in the reverse we are having 34. So 34 into 10 plus the remainder is what? Remainder is 1. So basically it will give me what? 341. Okay, and now it will check n is 0 now, so 0 is not greater than 0, so this loop will break. So when this loop will break in the reverse variable, I am already having what? The reverse of the number. So I'll simply say return reverse. Now when we will return this reverse, it will go here, it will be stored inside this result variable, and then I am displaying it on the screen, reverse number equal to result. I hope this is clear. Let's try to run this. So I'm not changing this name. Okay, it is the previous name only. So there is one error. Okay, so I forgot to write n divided by n equal to n divided by 10. So let's run again. So enter a number. Let's run 143. Enter. So it's giving me reverse number equal to 341. Okay, and again this reverse number equal to 341 I am displaying from the main function, because I call this function and then I try to return the number from this reverse function, and I am displaying inside this main function over here. So in the exam you please read the question. If they are telling that, if they are not saying anything, then you are free to write in any way, right? But if you are telling that you display the result from the main function only, so you will have to display from the main function. Okay, and if they are saying that the return, I mean display the result from the other function, not from the main function, then you can write over here in printf function. Okay, after this line here you can write the printf function, you can display the result and make this function as what? Void function. Okay, so it will not require this result and all, because this function will not going to return anything. Okay, now let's go to the next program. So write a program using function to check whether the entered number is Armstrong or not. So using function we have to check whether the entered number is Armstrong number or not. So I told you Armstrong number is what? We will have to separate each and every number, then we will have to do what? Cube it and sum it. If the same number is coming, that means that number will be what? Armstrong number. So for example, if I am having 143, so I'll have to basically do what? 1 cube. Okay, so 1 into 1 into 1 plus 4 into 4 into 4 plus 3 into 3 into 3. So if this sum is coming same as this, that means that number is what? Armstrong number. So let's try to code this. So I'll just change the name of this particular program. I'll say Armstrong. Okay, so basically this this function will also take one integer number, right? It will check whether the this is Armstrong number or not here, and then it will return a value. So what value we will going to return? We will return 1 or 0, right? If 0 is written from this particular function, that means that number is not an Armstrong number. So basically this function we will utilize for the purpose of checking whether the number is Armstrong number or not. So if this function will going to return a 1, that means that number is what? This number is what? Armstrong number. If this function will return 0, that means the function is what? The number is what? Not an Armstrong number. Okay. So here I am saying enter a number, everything. Then Here I'll write Armstrong. I hope whatever changes I'm making, you are able to grasp it. Okay, because I'm not writing the entire program again and again. So I'm making the changes in the same program. So I'll take the result. So what will be the result? Result will be either 1 or 0, because this function will going to return either 1 or 0, right, after checking. So if the number is Armstrong, it will return 1. If the number is not Armstrong, it will return 0. Now my job is what? After checking that number, I must say if result equal to 1. If result equal to 1, then I'll display here Armstrong number. Okay. Armstrong number. Else I'll say printf, else I'll say printf not a Armstrong number. Not a Armstrong number. Right? Okay. So let's write this one. Armstrong. So for Armstrong number also we will require this particular code. Okay. So you know that, right? You know the logic here. What we try to do, we try to separate 1, 4, 3, right, into 3, 4, 1. Okay. So here in place of this, I'll declare what? A sum variable. And basically this sum variable will be having what? The sum variable will basically have the summation of the cube of each and every number. So here we are separating one by one number, right? In the remainder we are separating 3, 4 and 1. So what we will do here, we will say sum equal to sum plus, just here we will have to write remainder into remainder into remainder. Okay, so 3 times I'm multiplying it and I'm doing the summation. That's it. Okay, but one thing I told you every time, that please remember here after this the n will become 0, right? So we will not be having any way, okay, any way to check whether this number is equal to our entered number or not. So before doing this manipulation, you please copy that number to some variable. So what I'll do, I'll create one n underscore copy variable. Okay, and then here I'll copy that n number inside this variable. So I'm saying like this. Again, this session will be, I'll just close this. Okay. So after this we will check here if n underscore copy is equal to sum. If n underscore copy is equal to sum, that means that number is what? Armstrong number. So we'll simply return what? We'll simply return 1. Else we will return what? Return 0. Right? So I'm removing this statement of the previous program. So what I have done in this particular program, I simply checked whether the number is Armstrong number or not, and after checking that, I'm just returning 1 or 0. If that number is Armstrong number, I'm returning 1. If that number is what, not an Armstrong number, I'm returning 0. Okay. So here I've written, so in the result we'll be getting what? 1 or 0, right? So again, I'll check here if the result equal to 1, I'll say Armstrong number. Otherwise, I'll say not a Armstrong number. So let's run this. Why this Kunal is not getting added?
So after n copy equal to n, no, there is.
Yeah, there is not a semicolon. Okay. So enter a number. I'll enter 143. So that's telling me not a Armstrong number. Then again I'll run it. I'll enter, let's say 153. It's telling me it is an Armstrong number. So if you separate 153, you cube it and sum it, you will get the same number back. So I hope this program is also clear to you, and all of you must understood the concept of function and how to write a no, any program using the function. So basically whatever you learned till now, all the program we can write by using the function. Simply we have to create a function with a specific task, right? Whether it's the task may be of the calculation of the factorial, or checking of the Armstrong number, or maybe checking of the whether the number is prime number or not, right? So if checking kind of thing is there, for example, if a function you are returning 1 or 0, so always in the main function you can check whether you got 1 or 0 value, and based on that you can make the decision. So similar kind of stuff, if I want to write a prime number, whether a number enter number is prime number or not, so same thing I'll do here. I'll write one prime number function. Okay, I'll pass one number to that particular function, and then I'll check whether the return result is 1 or 0. If it is 1, then that means the number is prime number. If return number is 0, then that number is what? A non-prime number. Okay, so similar kind of thing I can write again with the help of this code. Okay, so now let's go to the recursive function, and let's see what do you mean by recursive function. So I had that particular also in the list. So I'm requesting all of you to please write this particular program later. If you're having any doubt, you can always ask me. The WhatsApp group is there. You can if you're having any doubt, you can always ask in the WhatsApp group for regarding anything. Okay, I'll try to, because I always keep on checking that WhatsApp group. So even if you're having any doubt in any code, or you got any error, you got stuck at at any particular thing, you can just send me the screenshot, and I'll be able to tell you what the problem you are having. Okay, so anytime you can drop the message inside that WhatsApp group. So let's go to this recursive function. So remember recursive function, the name recursive means what? Recursive means something which repeat itself again and again. Okay, so we're going to write a function, okay, such a function which will going to repeat itself again and again. For example, I've written one function, just see here. I've written one void function. Excuse me, this void it has become capital V, so it's actually a small v. So void main, and then what I've written here, I've written printf hello world, and then again I'm calling that main function. Okay, so what this compiler will do, the moment it will see this main, it will call this particular function again it will go here, it will print hello world, then again it will call this main function, right? So every time it will keep on calling again and again the main function. This is called as what? A recursive call. The function, main function, okay, from its body it's calling itself again and again. So such a function is called as what? A recursive function. So if I'm going to write a code in such a way, in this particular way, then it will never going to terminate, right? Because it will create an infinite loop. So whenever you are writing any solution with the help of recursive function, you must always careful. Okay, you should provide some terminating condition, otherwise your program will not going to terminate, right? You must point out some terminating condition. You must specify, otherwise your program will not going to terminate. So remember, recursive function is what? Recursive function is a function which called itself again and again. Clear? So now let's solve one recursive function problem. So it's telling factorial of a number using recursive function. Okay, factorial of a number using recursive function. So for example, for any factorial for any factorial of a number. So for example, if a 5 factorial is there, right? So we will do what? 5 into, we will be writing like this. Wait. So let's go to turbo. Let's go to turbo directly, and there only I'll explain. So let me create a new file. Okay. So suppose 5 factorial. Okay. So 5 factorial, I'll be writing, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, right? So this will give me the factorial. So if suppose n factorial is there, so I'll be writing what? N into n minus 1 factorial. Okay, all of you. So I can write in this way. Let's say if n is 0, right? If n is 0, so 0 factorial will be what? 0 factorial will be what? So if a number is 0, so factorial of that number will be 1. Clear? So in general, I can write like this: n factorial will be equal to, okay, n factorial will be equal to 1 if n is equal to 0, right? If n is 0, then I can say n factorial is equal to what? 1. But if n is greater than 0, if n is greater than 0, then I can write the condition like this: n into n minus 1 factorial. Okay, for n is greater than 0. Is this clear to all of you? Okay, I can write in this way: if n factorial equal to 1 when n is equal to 0. Okay, but if n is greater than 0, then I can write this particular thing. Okay, I can write the code in this way. So you always try to write the two part of the program. So this first part, where my program will start when n will become 0, it will return what? 1, and my program will stop. So this is called as what? This is called as what? Terminating condition. Terminating condition. So in a recursive function program, you must always point out some point where your program will going to terminate. That point is called as what? A base class condition. Okay, or terminating condition. Base class condition or terminating condition. Clear? And the second part will be what? The part which will going to repeat itself again and again, the part which will make numerous times function call. Okay, the same function will going to call itself again and again. So there will be always two part. One is the terminating condition, and the second part will be what? The recursive part. So this is my recursive part. This is my recursive part. Clear? So there will be always two part in recursive function.